Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. You're watching and listening to Miss Amaira Jyoti on Speak Up Hesitations, and you guys are on Speak Up Hesitations as well. All right, so it's a very good evening, and I hope you're having a good evening as well. I hope you're having a pleasant day. Today's topic is all about it's really an interesting topic. To what extent do our families shape us who we are? I feel like the complicated thing is not to figure out does our family really shape us who we are? Of course, the answer is yes. But the complicated thing is to figure out to what extent. I feel like to what extent is the real mystery. And if you guys really have points on this, please add on in the comment section. Also, I really want to tell you that how did this question come to my mind? So there's a whole thing behind this, okay? You and I know that people judge someone's good or bad actions on the basis of their upbringing. So it doesn't matter someone is doing right or wrong. The major thing that gets highlighted is their upbringing, like where they came from, what they were taught, and the atmosphere they grew up in. So this is the first thing. Okay. The second thing is, and we're just taking examples, okay, so that we can just, figure out the conclusion that we can almost consider. So the second thing I was telling you was if someone is doing good, we say it's upbringing. But if someone is doing absolutely wrong, and if we call it upbringing, then many questions arises. Somebody can say that, of course it's upbringing. It's all about what they were taught. Somebody can argue that parents don't tell their children to do anything wrong. They just teach about the values of right and wrong. And somebody can say that it's not at all about upbringing at all. It's all about their karmas, the consequences of their own actions and decisions which are coming to them. So the whole thing is not clear to everybody that is it really all about upbringing? Is it really all about how we are raised or our personal decisions and the consequences of our own actions really play a major role. So everybody doesn't know where to draw a line. Now I'll tell you my thing, okay? What I have learned from my life is right upbringing allow us to take a pause when someone is offering us to add some value in something wrong. But here also, who is taking that pause? It's the self who's taking the pause. It's the self who's deciding what to do after that pause. So we really need to be broad minded to understand this deepness of life. Now, the another thing which I really want to share is, and this is my personal thing, okay? I feel like upbringing is not all about early education or early teachings. Upbringing is also about correcting every single time when a child do something wrong, also appreciating every single time when a child really deserves an appreciation. Both comes in upbringing, because every single time when a child gets corrected or appreciated, even after they reach later age or even after they become an adult, at the back of the mind he or she is getting everything, that which line is not to be crossed when you're correcting them, and how appreciation is creating a magic when you are appreciating them. And by any chance, for whatever reason, if they cross a line, even after knowing this fact that power to choose really lies within us only, then it's their choices and decisions. Okay, so we really need to hesitate before we say upbringing, because I don't feel like after a certain age, parents can really control us the way they used to control us before. And when I say control, I mean in a good sense, okay? Now, what the real thing is, after a point, everything shifts to an individual. That how an individual want to live, how an individual want to decide how to respond to life, how an individual want to decide how to treat others. And why at some point, why not since beginning? Because during early age, you really can't decide for yourself, right? It's just get mandatory for you to listen and follow what your parents are asking you to do, because you don't understand the self yet. You don't understand the individual yet. But when you come into a later age, now you can really decide if you really want to go with your parents' upbringing or not. Because in the later age, it's really no longer about blindly following. So if you're going with your parents' upbringing, still it's you who's deciding. And if you're not going with your parents' upbringing, still it's you who's deciding not to go. So when you start to get the difference between right and wrong by your own understanding, because of the exposure to the power of self, everything will go on to you, whether you do right or wrong. So families really gives us foundation, but we can actually decide what to build on the top of it. And we're actually deciding what to build on the top of it, right? So I've made conclusion for my own understanding, and I hope these points will help you too. Number one, of course, we carry the lessons from our families into adulthood, but as we grow older, we begin to have more control over our own identity. Number two, sometimes we decide to do something wrong because of our own curiosity, not because of upbringing. That's all. And that's all for the today's video. Today's video is pretty short and cut to cut. I hope you liked the video. I hope this video is helpful. This is just a general conversation that normal people sit and talk about. That's what I did. All right, let's just catch up in the another video. Thank you so much for watching and bye for now.